have you ever heard the term, you're kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't? That's sort of what happened with Microsoft. We see a lot of interaction, a lot of news coming out revolving around what Microsoft is doing right now, and Xbox in particular. And it's like for years, you had to deal with people saying, you know, Xbox has no games, Xbox has no games. And now it's like those same people that complained and cried about that are crying that Xbox took games away from PlayStation. It's like, which one is it, right? You want them to have games, but you don't want them to have games. You want them to do things the way Sony did it. Well, guess what? Sony did it that way, right? You can't have that double standard and think, you know, everything is just perfectly fine. Now, for me personally, like, I saw this news and I'm like, well, no crap. Water's wet. You know, like, honestly, that's sort of the way I looked upon it, and I said, you know, this is something that Microsoft obviously is very smart with how they've handled this, and I think this is great. This is what you need to do. This right here. This news today is exactly what Microsoft needed to do, and they won me over even more if that was even possible. So I applaud Microsoft, Phil, whoever else. This is what you needed to do. This makes me proud to be an Xbox owner. What's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with yet another fantastic video. Slap that like button, slap the hell out of it. I'm looking to get 100 likes, 100 slaps on each video that I do, so consider helping out my slap count, will you? Would appreciate that. I love doing the videos, I love talking video games, and hopefully you guys enjoy that too. So, Arcane Studios has confirmed that Redfall was originally in development for PlayStation 5, but plans changed when Microsoft acquired the studio's owner. So, water is wet. They're making a video game for current-gen platforms. They get bought out a year into development, and that version gets scrapped. That is not breaking news, in my opinion, right? So, while perhaps unsurprising, Arcane Austin studio director Harvey Smith has now confirmed that plans for a PlayStation release were canceled after Microsoft acquired Bethesda, parent company ZeniMax Media. And I quote, "We were acquired by Microsoft, and it was a change with a capital C. They came in and they said, no PlayStation 5, we're focusing on PC, Xbox, and Game Pass." So right there you have kind of an idea of where the mindset was. Development of Redfall had started a year prior to the acquisition. So, you know, again, the people that were trying to make this into a big deal today absolutely did not make any sense to me, because first of all, Microsoft obviously wasn't going to allow them, and they've mentioned this multiple times. Microsoft had said multiple times that they were 100% not going to, you know, they were going to do the Bethesda buyout as basically a situation where that was going to be exclusive stuff for, you know, Xbox, right? And I saw all of the Twitter happenings today and all that stuff, and the other days where people were basically trying to make it seem like Phil said, no, we want more people to play and counterproductive and all that kind of stuff. But when you look at what Microsoft said and what Phil said, he said this when they closed the deal: "We will support contractual obligations. We have other games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to go support those games. But if you're an Xbox customer, what I want you to know is that Bethesda is about delivering great IP, or great exclusives, excuse me." That's a quote from Phil Spencer himself. So if he's quoted as saying that, why is so many people upset that the Bethesda games are exclusive? First of all, I don't know any PlayStation fans that haven't said anything but bad things about Redfall. And I mean that wholeheartedly, right? They've said nothing but bad things about this game. And now all of a sudden they want to cry and play victim, just like Sony, right? It's nonsense. It's complete and utter nonsense. You know, and they show these other things, right? Oh, Phil's such a liar, Phil's this, because they show a Kotaku article that says that Phil Spencer says exclusives are counter to what game it is about. But if you check out the interview and the other places that covered this interview, he says that Generational exclusives are completely counter to what gaming is about. And he's talking about the Xbox One versions of games, how they're not going to make you go out right away and buy an Xbox Series X or S, that if you have an Xbox One, you're covered for now, right? Not having the force to go out and do that kind of stuff. I've seen other things too, where people brought up that whole slogan that Microsoft has, which is, when everybody plays, we all win. And people go, well, how could everybody play if, Microsoft isn't? Well, listen, they started using that slogan in 2019 for the adaptive controller, which I think is great because they're trying to get people with disabilities and things like that the ability to play video games, which I think, again, is a fantastic thing. So the reason that people are so upset, I have no idea. Back to the Arcane situation. They said, it's not very serious. It's even a good decision, I think, said Smith, of dropping the PS5 version. It helps support Game Pass and have one less platform to worry about, so one less complexity. He also said that Game Pass has a ton of players. It could become our biggest game thanks to 30 million people, where I can't remember the exact number of subscribers. Microsoft recently announced a Redfall release date of May 2nd, 2023, alongside details of a special edition and pre-order bonuses. In other newly published interviews, Smith also said Arcane is looking into removing the requirement for solo players to play always connected, as Redfall is an open-world FPS, which is playable solo or with a team of up to 4 players in co-op. It sees players battling to defeat a legion of vampires who have cut the quaint island town of Redfall from the outside world. So again, there's a lot of great things, including in this VGC article. It says, in a new Redfall preview, we called it an utterly engrossing single-player experience, which is shaping up to be the studio's strongest shooter to date. So Redfall got a lot of previews today and recently, and it's getting, and that's really great because they're all coming back extremely positive, and that's exactly what people wanted to see with this. You wanted to see, more of this, more great games from this studio. And I think people are going to be quite surprised at the ability this studio has to deliver. And the game looks better and better. Like, people were so ready to kind of cast it off and cast it aside. And now we're seeing that, it's actually quite a good looking game. And some sites are even seeing that, it's a game that deserves Game of the Year contender honors. Now, I don't know about all of that because, basically, one of the things that I've seen most of is the fact that Microsoft is doing some really cool stuff with Game Pass, with with their exclusives, with their first party, and you gotta love that, man. I think that that's absolutely great to see that Microsoft is moving what they can. They're doing what they can, and to see people actually be excited about it. So hopefully we continue to see that and the movement from Microsoft, because I think that's incredibly smart thing to do. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Slap the like button, rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer up. Checked out the article below. Crap Gamer out.